question is, are you willing to sacrifice your 20s? How long are you willing to be in school for? Are you willing to take on that debt? Are there going to be enough jobs for you when the time comes? Is there much of a future for my profession? Ignore this band-aid, my skin is acting out, and yeah. Today I'm going to be talking about some things you should consider before you decide to choose a career or even a major. Picking a career is not easy, and there are a number of things that I feel like everybody should be considering. This isn't in order from most important to least important. They're just like all over the place. First thing I have listed here is the pay or the salary progression. So is the salary that you're going to be paid, is it enough to pay off your student loan debt? Is it enough to support the lifestyle that you want to live? Is there a salary cap? If so, what is it? Is it 70K or is it 200K? And how much room is there to grow and increase your pay as time goes on? Most times, entry-level jobs are not the highest paying right outside of college, but as you know, you grow older and you gain more experience, you can like kind of progress towards higher paying positions. So the second thing that you should consider is flexibility. By flexibility, I mean how easy it is to get into other fields or other specialties. It's definitely easier in certain career fields than others. Like for example, if you want to be a PA, it's generally easier than a doctor when you want to switch into like a different specialty. But if you're talking about a field such as business or accounting, in accounting you can start off as an accountant, but later on down the line you can move into another field and become like a business analyst or like a financial advisor. There's an abundance of things you can branch into, so definitely look into that for your specific career. So the third thing you should consider is the education required. Higher education can definitely have a good payoff at the end of the day, but the question is, are you willing to sacrifice your 20s and are you willing to take on that debt for the sake of going to school for a longer time? How long are you willing to be in school for? You know, unless you're really devoted or passionate to whatever field it is, whether you're trying to become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is, definitely something to think about. The fourth thing you should consider is a work-life balance. Everybody should have time to spend with their family, friends, to do things that are not work. Maybe you want to start a side hustle or a business on the side. Like, everybody should have time to do things outside of work. Work should not be your whole life. And some of these entry-level jobs you get right outside of college, they can be demanding, but as time goes on, as you gain more experience and you move up the ranks a little bit, the workload may lessen up depending on whichever field you're planning on going into. The thing that you should consider is whether or not it appeals to your interests. This one's pretty simple. I mean, just find something that you're interested in so that you're not miserable. Chances are you might be doing this career for a long period of time, so you don't want to be stuck. You know, if you're an active person, you don't want to be stuck in an office job for, 10 plus years. You will probably be miserable. Depends on the type of person you are. The sixth thing to consider is whether or not that career path you're thinking of is fulfilling or impactful. Now, helping people or feeling as if you're making a difference in somebody's life oftentimes correlates to job satisfaction. Keep in mind, even if you're not directly helping people in your career, you can always help people outside of work. You can volunteer, you can donate, but a lot of the times it's nice to be able to have a career in which you are helping people on a regular basis. So the seventh thing you should consider is long-term satisfaction. How long can you see yourself, being happy and content at that job? Now, like I said before, if you have flexibility, you can definitely move around and go into different fields, but that's not always the case. Unless you're planning on retiring super early, or unless you plan on going back to school, you might be stuck in a career that over time just becomes less and less enjoyable. So while it's important to live in the moment, it's also important to think a little bit down the line and think, hey, this is something that I can see myself doing for a living for a long period of time. The eighth thing that you should look into is the job outlook. Tech jobs are definitely on the rise. Healthcare jobs, I know PA is predicted to grow super quickly over the next few years. You can go on the BLS website. They have all the information there on basically every job you can think of, and there you can find out if your job is in demand, how many future openings you can expect to see, are there going to be enough jobs for you when the time comes. The ninth thing, I was kind of constantly putting this in, I think I'm just a little bit nervous, anxious about the future, but ageism. I feel like this is more rampant in like the technology field, but some fields, ageism or age discrimination is definitely an issue. To what extent, I'm not sure. Whereas in the medical field, the older you are, the wiser you may be seen, and that could get you a lot more respect. I'm not really sure if that's something you should be super concerned about. If you're interested in technology and you want to do that, then I don't think you should be thinking like, hey, you know, when I turn 30 or 40, you know, I might not be able to get a job, or I might be looked down on. Like, no, I don't think that should stop you, but I do think it is something to be aware of, because ageism is definitely a thing, but it may not even affect you, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, as well as my band-aid here. I hope it didn't bother you too much. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what your career plans are, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.